The Honourable Leader of the Second Opposition.
Madam Speaker,
Order.
there have been a number of reports in the media that show that emails and freedom of request, information requests show that the Internal Investigation Unit has not been able to get the information it needs to do its job, which is overseeing the police. The IIU was created long after two incidents, the shooting of J.J. Harper and the death of Crystal Taman, where investigations went seriously wrong. Madam Speaker, we all know the police have a hard job to do. In order to do their job well, the public has to have confidence in them, and we all have to know they will be held to the same standard of justice as anyone. They cannot investigate themselves. The IIU has submitted 2 annual reports to the Department of Justice that were only tabled today. Can the Minister explain the delay in tabling these reports?
The Honourable Minister of Justice.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, and I do appreciate the question from the member opposite. I want to take this opportunity to thank our law enforcement people from across the province who are dealing with many Manitobans, hundreds of Manitobans, potentially thousands of Manitobans on a daily basis, and we thank them for the good work they do. Also, in terms of the Independent Investigation Unit, I know they're doing good work as well over there. When situations do arise, they do have certainly important work that they are doing. We have made the commitment, and we made the commitment yesterday in the throne speech, to review the Police Services Act, and that's what we will do.
Here.
There we go.
The Honourable Leader of the Second Opposition.
Madam Speaker, the issue of police oversight is not new. There's an old saying, who shall watch the watchman? It is not supposed to be the watchmen themselves. One of the issues identified in media reports is that the police are refusing to cooperate with investigators. There was a problem identified with Ontario legislation that was introduced in the early 1990s.
Order.
And one of the solutions that has been recommended and is in legislation elsewhere is that police would have to cooperate with the IIU and have sanctions if they fail to do so. They would still have the right not to incriminate themselves, but they would not be able to ignore the IIU's requests. The throne speech did mention amendments to the Police Services Act. Will it include ensuring the police cooperate when the IIU asks them to?
The Honourable Minister of Justice.
Well, thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Certainly no province in Canada compels subject officers to disclose incriminating information relevant to an investigation. These are the same rights that are afforded to all citizens. I will say furthermore that certainly Manitobans do want to make sure that have assurances that there is an effective investigative tool in place and an investigative process in place. That's why we said we will review the Police Services Act. We will engage Manitobans in that review and listen to what Manitobans have to say.
The Honourable Leader of the Second Opposition on a final supplementary.
Madam Speaker, police officers are human, and like any human, they can make mistakes. They have difficult jobs, they put their lives on the line, and they depend on each other to make it home alive. But we also know they should not be investigating themselves. That was the finding of the Crystal Taman inquiry and the Aboriginal Justice Inquiry. Nobody wants a repeat of J.J. Harper. Nobody wants a repeat of Crystal Taman. Not the police, not families, and not the public. This requires a change of culture. But to change the culture, we need to change the rules. Robert Taman, Crystal's widower, has said there needs to be a full provincial audit of the IIU. Will the Minister of Justice commit to such an audit?
The Honourable Minister of Justice.
Well, Madam Speaker, we do recognize the challenges that police officers face across our province, and yes, mistakes can be made, for sure, and we certainly want to make sure that this independent investigation unit does have the tools at their disposal. Clearly, maybe the previous NDP legislation isn't correct. That's why we've made the announcement. We're going to review this legislation. We'll engage Manitobans across the province, and we'll hear what Manitobans have to say, and we will make positive changes to that legislation.
Here.